He's getting me stitches done. He's a man, he's a fighter, he can fight like Froch. You don't get to do UFC without being able to fight.
Interested to see what Froch on Fighting has to say about this. I'm sure he's going to absolutely dig him out.
Last 20, last 20.
Yes!
10 to go, 10 to go.
Smash John Fury to pieces. Should the event actually happen? Again, you're looking at a former world champion in Carl Froch. You're looking at a former, he's a Hall of Famer, Carl Froch. You don't get into the Hall of Fame.
Feel like, is Del Boy getting personal with the Cobra, or is he just tongue in cheek? And listen, I don't want to have a roll around with you.
No. You said it before, but you said it in a nicer way. That's why I never came after you, do you understand? He's entertainment.
Hang on a minute, let me stop you there. What the fuck was entertaining about him against fucking Mike Tyson? Champion.
Hey!
Let's go, champ!
Let's go, champ! Let's go, champ!
The
Cobra!
See what everybody else has seen. I wasn't there when it happened because we was inside doing whatever we was doing, other interviews I think, and somebody showed it to me. I see John with his cut head. Look, that's not what we want. I don't want to see that happen, no one does, but I understand now both sides have made it up, they've apologised, so hopefully it's all in the past and we can concentrate what everybody's out here for, which is a fight.
Darren Till speaks with a mixture of respect and confidence, openly acknowledging Carl Froch's outstanding boxing pedigree, while still believing his own combat sports experience gives him a chance to compete. Rather than dismissing Froch's accomplishments, Till makes it clear he understands exactly what kind of fighter he would be facing. However, after seeing Froch's noticeably bigger and stronger physique up close, Till admits it caught him by surprise and forced him to reassess the challenge. That reaction only reinforces his respect for the former world champion and highlights why he believes anyone overlooking Froch will be making a serious mistake. Even with his own confidence intact, Till recognizes that this is no ordinary opponent and that any potential matchup would demand complete focus from the opening bell.
I am not a better boxer than Carl Froch. I just want to make that clear. I know I can beat Carl Froch. I know from my MMA background with some feints thrown in and stuff like that, I can beat him. But I'm not trying to sit here and say I'm a better boxer, but why would he not get in that ring with me?
John Fury's emotions are unmistakable here, and they help explain why his feud with Carl Froch has intensified so quickly. He makes it clear that he has no intention of backing down when he feels his family or his own reputation is being challenged. Every exchange seems to add more fuel to the rivalry, with neither side showing any willingness to ease the tension. That growing frustration has turned what began as a verbal disagreement into one of boxing's most talked about personal feuds. Whether it leads anywhere beyond the headlines remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. Both men have made it clear they are prepared to stand their ground.
What about the good fights they've been involved in? You know, even him himself, he was involved in good fights. But what do, they kick the credibility in the nutsack by coming out with all this crap. Because it's just
call it. That fight can happen. But I'm here ready to fight anyone. My coaches know I'm ready to fight anyone. So that's that. If he wants to fight me and Mams and KSI want to put that fight together, that fight can happen. Do you understand? I'm not asked about the money. Let my management sort that. But I'm ready to fight at all times, anyone. So, do you know what I'm saying? I need to nip it in the bud.
Darren Till makes his position crystal clear, showing no interest in avoiding any challenge that comes his way. He explains that his focus is on competing, while the business side of negotiations is something he leaves to his management team. That approach reflects a fighter who would rather settle things through action than spend months trading words in interviews and on social media. Till's confidence suggests he is prepared to face whoever is put in front of him, believing that performances inside the ring speak far louder than promises made outside of it. In the end, his message is simple. The talking can stop once the contracts are signed and the fight begins.
Last one now. You got this one. Straight up. So, nice, mate. Good set, good set. Good set, mate. Probably could have done a bit more than that, actually, next time, yeah? Next time you can go up on that. Some 10s on there.
There is no tomorrow.
Well, let's do it today, then.
There's definitely a tomorrow.
All right.
Duke McKenzie believes Carl Froch's greatest weapon has always been his punching power, and in his view, that is a quality that doesn't simply disappear with time. Looking back on Froch's career, McKenzie points to the strength and determination that made him one of Britain's most successful champions. While acknowledging that age changes every fighter, he argues that experience, timing, and natural power can still make a former world champion a dangerous opponent. McKenzie's comments reinforce the idea that anyone underestimating Carl Froch because of a years away from competition could be making a costly mistake. His message is clear: respect a fighter's achievements, because some qualities stay with them long after their championship days are over.
And everybody knows Froch is a tough guy. And if Froch turns up, even though he's an old man now, he's nearly as old as me. No, he's not. He's quite younger than me, actually, Carl Froch. I'm 63. Anyway, but, you know, listen, even Carl Froch, at the age that he is at, would still be enough for John Fury.
Adam Smith views much of the rivalry as part of boxing's entertainment, acknowledging that heated exchanges and verbal sparring often help build interest in a fight. Even so, he admits that if the discussion ever turned into a genuine boxing contest, Carl Froch's accomplishments and proven ability would be difficult to ignore. Smith gives John Fury credit for his size, toughness, and fearless personality, but he also points out that years of competing and winning at the highest level give Froch an edge that commands respect. His comments reflect the opinion that experience inside the ring can be just as important as physical presence. While the rivalry continues to generate headlines, Smith believes that if it ever came down to boxing skills alone, Carl Froch's championship pedigree would be a major advantage.
Carl Froch is a fighter to the core, so is John Fury. Listen, it's fun, it's banter, it's entertainment. Carl said to me afterwards, hey, it's all good fun, isn't it?
If they fought, who would win?
I mean, I don't think I would go against Carl Froch ever anyway.
Okay.
in a normal fight. I mean, obviously it's a long time since he's retired, but Carl Froch is a very, very, very top fighter.
That switch up there as well.
And John Fury's a big guy, right? And he's
unbelievable.
John Fury turns up the heat once again, directing a blunt personal accusation toward Carl Froch and making it clear this rivalry has moved well beyond ordinary pre-fight banter. His comments reflect just how emotionally charged the feud has become, with both sides continuing to exchange increasingly personal remarks. While the accusation itself remains unverified and should be treated as a claim rather than fact, it highlights the growing hostility between the two men. As the war of words escalates, the focus is shifting from competitive rivalry to personal pride, leaving fans wondering whether the tension will eventually lead to something more than just verbal exchanges. One thing is certain: the relationship between John Fury and Carl Froch has become one of the most talked about feuds in boxing.
It do you some serious damage. Are you hearing me, you pig? So get plenty of steroids and juice down you, mate, because I will fight you tomorrow.
Johnny Nelson offers an interesting perspective from within the boxing world, explaining that Carl Froch believes the biggest obstacle to this fight is no longer the rivalry itself, but the financial demands surrounding it. According to Nelson, the negotiations may have reached a point where making the contest happen has become increasingly difficult. His comments serve as a reminder that while the public often focuses on heated exchanges and personal insults, the business side of boxing usually determines whether a fight ever gets made. Nelson speaks respectfully about both men, but suggests that, unless the financial issues can be resolved, this feud could remain a talking point rather than develop into an official contest. For now, the rivalry continues to generate headlines, but whether it ever reaches the ring remains the biggest unanswered question.
John talked himself into a situation where what if Calais says, right, I'll give you X, Y, Z to fight Carl Froch. So I gather the last amount was 2.5 million. And I'm thinking, and Carl's like, and the thing is, I spoke to Carl last week at the Ricky thing, and he said, you know what, Johnny? He said, my man's priced himself out of it. You know, if we say yeah, it'll be all right, give me 5 million, all right, give me 10 million. He's priced himself out of it. I like John, I get John. I like Carl, Carl's my boy, I respect him. It won't happen. It's just, I know it's bad, but it's fun watching these guys wind each other up.
Carl Froch takes a measured approach here, speaking with the confidence of someone who trusts the experience and skills he built over a long championship career. Rather than relying on loud trash talk, he calmly explains why he believes his boxing pedigree would make the difference if the rivalry ever turned into a real contest. That composed attitude is part of what has led figures like Darren Till to stress that Froch should not be underestimated, even after years away from professional competition. Froch makes it clear that he has no desire for unnecessary violence, but he also leaves little doubt that he remains confident in his abilities. It is that quiet self-belief, backed by years of competing at the highest level, that continues to fuel discussion about how he would fare if this long-running feud with John Fury ever became more than words.
But before, yeah, it was just like, he gets upset and starts getting silly and starts saying, listen, I'll fight you, starts calling me out. So just so we're clear, I didn't call John Fury out, and I've got no intentions of fighting John Fury. But like he said, if it makes business sense, so if something stupid could happen, so for him, he wants to get paid. For me, I'd like to just set the record straight.
John Fury speaks with absolute confidence, making it clear that fear has never influenced the decisions he makes. His willingness to embrace a high-profile challenge reflects the fearless attitude that has defined his public persona for years. At the same time, many observers have questioned the risks involved, noting that facing a former 3-time world champion after such a long absence from competition would be an enormous undertaking. That concern is echoed by figures like Darren Till, who has spoken about Carl Froch's impressive physical condition and believes he remains a formidable athlete despite retirement. The discussion has become less about confidence and more about whether determination alone can overcome the gap in recent elite-level experience. Until anything becomes official, the debate will continue, with opinions divided between those who admire John Fury's courage and those who believe the challenge would simply be too great.
Fight. I'm going to fight, you know, because at the end of the day, that's what I do. And what I want to do, really, is make history. I'll be the first 61-year-old man in history to ever take on a 3-time Hall of Famer in Carl Froch. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Liam Smith looks beyond the headlines, questioning whether the growing rivalry is driven by genuine competitive tension or whether some of the drama is simply amplifying interest in a potential fight. In his view, separating real emotion from promotion isn't always easy in boxing. Smith also notes that Carl Froch appeared uncomfortable when the situation became more heated at ringside, highlighting how quickly confrontations can become unpredictable once they move beyond verbal exchanges. Rather than diminishing Froch's accomplishments, Smith's comments underline the reality that even experienced fighters can be surprised when emotions escalate outside the controlled environment of the ring. His overall point is that rivalries often take on a life of their own, making it increasingly difficult to distinguish calculated promotion from genuine personal animosity. Intro 17.
For what? Look, Dan will just do anything to drum something up. I think he just wants the Froch fight. I think Froch just called him a little bit on YouTube. But, you know, I think Carl got uncomfortable there. Darren's a fucking lunatic. So last thing he wants, Darren Till jumping out the ring to you, fucking threatening to choke you and all that, do you know what I mean? So it's the last thing I'd want anyway. So fucking I think Carl just got off rather than have the aggro of, you know, Darren Till in front of him, screaming, shouting and spitting in his face.
Darren Till's frustration is unmistakable here, marking a noticeable shift from his usually composed approach. Rather than engaging in more back-and-forth exchanges, he makes it clear that he wants certainty and a clear decision about where the situation is heading. His comments suggest he's grown tired of speculation, mixed messages, and endless public debate, preferring actions over words. That reaction highlights how prolonged rivalries can become mentally draining, even for experienced fighters who are used to dealing with media attention. More than anything, Till's message reflects a desire to move past the talk and finally get a definitive answer, whether that means making the fight happen or putting the rivalry to rest once and for all.
Done what I've done, mate. It's like my last fight with Luke. It was all, you know, they do this, do that, and then when I go too far, it's like, oh mate, we can't do that. Well, I'm gone. Well, what do you want from me? Do you want? Are we having it or not?
Duke McKenzie believes John Fury has a unique ability to command attention wherever he goes, with his outspoken personality and confrontational style often becoming a major talking point. Whether it's heated exchanges, bold statements, or emotional press conference moments, John Fury rarely stays out of the headlines for long. McKenzie suggests that this unpredictability has played a significant role in keeping the rivalry with Carl Froch in the spotlight, as every new confrontation generates fresh discussion among boxing fans. The ongoing feud has become one of the sport's most talked about storylines, driven by strong personalities and constant media attention. As long as neither side is willing to back down, the debate is likely to continue, keeping fans eager to see whether the rivalry ever develops into something more than a war of words.
And he knows how to shout houses down and make threats and swear and all the rest of it, because he creates chaos wherever he goes. And for whatever the reason, the public...
Dave Allen takes a measured approach to the debate, drawing a clear distinction between natural athletic ability and the years of refinement required to compete at world championship level. He acknowledges John Fury's physical strength, fitness, and toughness, but emphasizes that those qualities alone are not the same as the experience gained through facing elite opposition over the course of a professional career. In Allen's view, that difference becomes especially important when discussing someone with Carl Froch's resume and accomplishments at the highest level of boxing. Rather than getting caught up in the emotion surrounding the rivalry, Allen focuses on the practical realities of what separates a capable fighter from a proven world champion. His assessment shifts the conversation away from the headlines and back to the key question at the heart of the debate: how much does elite-level experience matter when two very different boxing backgrounds are compared?